Greetings. This is Walter D. Donnie Kennedy, Chief of Heritage Operations for the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and this is Commander's Comment for June 2021, Part 2. And as with Part 1, I'm here with Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney Jr., and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Confederation. Commander, it's good to see you again.
Good seeing you again.
First, Commander, I want to share just a little bit of a letter that we've got in the Confederate Legion in response to our notice that we've been sending out to our Confederate Legion members for renewal. A gentleman was very impressed. He sent his check in to renew his membership, and he was talking about all that was going on with Make Dixie Great Again in our Confederate Legion and the SCV, and he said, quote, "It is gratifying to see this kind of leadership and renews my hope of what we can accomplish working together." And this was a South Carolina compatriot that sent us that letter.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
I am very pleased with that because as you and I and Paul, Commander-in-Chief Paul Gremlin before you, have all said we've got to get our message out to John Q. Putnam.
And the only way we can do it, we can't fight this battle like our ancestors did with bullets. We have to fight with dollars. And it's going to take you to support us. Last month I held up a huge stack of envelopes of renewals and people joined. Here again, I have more right here. Keep them coming in, people, because your dollars are our bullets in this battle.
Absolutely. And remember, every donation to the Confederate Legion, 90 cents out of every dollar, 90% of your donation goes to buy radio ads, newspaper ads, to generate videos such as this, to get Southern Defenders out to people. All your money except for 10% is going for that type of activity. I don't think you're going to get a better return on your buck for action.
And we have to do this, Donnie. We have to, because like we said in our first episode, how are you going to hear about what's going on in America with Make Dixie Great Again? Yeah. You're not going to hear about it in mainstream media. You're not going to hear about it over a lot of radio stations. You're going to have to hear about it from us, and we've got to buy those ads. We've got to buy those radio spots so that you can be informed. That way you know what's going on.
And let me throw something in. You reminded me, our Confederate Legion will partner with your SCV camp. So if you've got an SCV camp, let's just say in the Confederate state of Florida, and that camp wants to run some ads, contact the Confederate Legion. We'll provide you with the professionally made ad. You take it to the radio station. If you want to buy $100, $200 worth, let me know. As long as we've got money in our account, that 90 cents out of every dollar will match what you're doing and to promote the Sons of Confederate Veterans in your area.
Exactly.
So it won't get done if you don't. I can't, and Commander McClooney can't go around to every radio station in every community asking to run our ads. The local camps can, and we are happy to partner with you. Now, we're also in the Confederate Legion, Commander, as you know, we're buying ads ourselves to get the message out, but it all depends on our members.
Well, it takes you. It takes you to contact, to reach out. We have the resources, we have the tools, but you got to reach out to us and ask for us to help you out.
Right, and the commander said it right, exactly right. We are here, we're run by the SCV to provide you with tools to win this battle. And I'm not talking about defeating them, I'm talking about eliminating our enemy. We can do it if we work together. Now, I was in Georgia for their reunion here recently, and one of the things I noticed, I was very pleased with what some of the things going on in Georgia. They have, they had a little trouble in the last election.
Yes,
I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but they had a little trouble there. The Georgia SCV has started a Georgia voter registration drive.
Yes.
And they also are doing something called Get Out the Vote, and also maybe even True the Vote. True the Vote is the name of a conservative organization, but the idea being they're going to make sure that the elections are fair and everybody has a fair chance.
Yeah, let's keep in mind that Georgia now has a new voting law where you have to present an ID. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's think, people. You have to show an ID to buy alcohol, to buy cigarettes, different activities. You even have to show an ID just to go register to vote.
Yes.
So what is the problem with showing a ID to vote? I voted today myself and had to show my ID in my hometown to vote for mayor.
There you go. It's a matter of, as they say, true the vote. Make sure the vote is legit and proper and fair.
Exactly.
And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Now, Georgia is also has established a 501c4, which we're talking about doing the same thing on the national level also.
Yes. So we're talking about trying to create some type of 501c4 pact that we can use on the national level. Now, we're not talking about changing our status on the SCV as 501c3.
Exactly.
We're talking about giving us another tool in our toolbox to fight this.
Exactly. And Georgia is showing, and we're going to follow some of the things they're doing because they're blazing the trail for us on a national level, I think. And I was very pleased with what they're doing there. And I think that we can do it ourselves on the national level. Now, a lot of people will get upset. They say, well, you're getting into politics. This is not a political organization. I want to read. This is from the Constitution of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. I'm just going to read a short little statement here. It states in the Constitution, Part 2.1, each member, that's every SCV member, each member is expected to perform his full duty as a citizen. Full duty, that means voting and making sure your civilization is being run properly. Now, it is interesting in the preamble to the Constitution, the Sons of Confederate Veterans Constitution, we are encouraged to record and to implement impartially the history and achievement of the South from Jamestown to the present day.
Yes.
We're not just a, quote, civil war. I hate that term. Civil war, there's a quotation, organization, where, there are plenty of those type of organizations out there, but we are a Southern organization.
And if more people would understand that our organization goes beyond just 1861 to 65, that our organization has to encompass, to embrace all of our Southern history, all of our Southern heritage.
That's right.
From beginning to the present.
I was reminded of that. I'm a World War II buff too, and I was reading about the Pacific Campaign. Do you realize, and I hope the people here realize, that a son of a Confederate veteran was the highest ranking military officer in the Pacific Theater to be killed in World War II? Simon Bolivar Butler Jr. His father was General Butler of the Confederacy.
Yes.
I mean, there's the connection. But here's another one. I didn't realize till I started doing some research, the highest ranking naval officer was Admiral Nimitz. He was the grandson of a Confederate officer. Our history, we're including from Jamestown up to the present day. My older brother was a member of the Dixie Division here in Mississippi.
Yes.
And it was Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, several southern states, their National Guard that became the 31st U.S. Army Infantry. The Dixie Division.
I have a nephew that we honored 2 years ago with a War Service Medal for service in Iraq, Afghanistan, the Syrian theater. He belongs to the 551st, which is actually descended from the 1st Mississippi Rifles under Jefferson Davis.
Isn't that amazing? Our preamble also, and I'll get off of this, but I want to read this so everyone, if you haven't read the preamble or the Constitution of the SCV, I really encourage you to do so. It says that we are to instill in our descendants a devotion to and reverence for the principles represented by the Confederate States of America to the glory of God and the honorable memory of our fathers who fought for the cause.
Right.
This is what we're all about. When we talk about these, quote, political activities, it's not politics. It's defending the cause of the South and defending the memory and heritage of our people. Now, one of the things we've got to do is to get our message out. Commander, what are some of the ways that we can get our message out to our membership? I noticed you were on one last
Oh
night.
yes, SCV Chat is just growing and growing in popularity and so forth. Watch SCV Chat every Monday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. All you have to do is go to Facebook, type in SCV Chat, and click on the link. And you can see our episodes every Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. But also, every Thursday night, a look across the Confederation. That's another piece of SCV Chat. Matt Singleton is the host. You get to see what camps are doing across our Confederation, our divisions, and so forth. It keeps you informed. It's sort of like with the pictures in our SCV magazine, but SCV Chat with Look Across Confederation, you get to hear what's going on and share with each other what's going on.
Well, and that leads me to something. Our membership needs to be sending Matt some of these photographs
Yes.
and some of the information what we are doing. Hey, I always say, "He who doth not tooteth his horn, the same horn shall go untooted." So if we don't tell the world what we're about, nobody will.
Exactly.
And I encourage your camp members in the camps and the division, send information to Matt, and let's tell everybody in the division what's in the Confederation what's going on. For one thing, what we do in Mississippi, or what y'all do in Mississippi, you'll encourage us in Louisiana to copy it and say, well, they're doing it there, we can do it here.
Exactly.
We can learn from each other, and more important, we inspire each other. Another thing for our membership, and I want to mention this, is the Telegraph.
Exactly. You know, the Telegraph is a huge tool because it's inside our own organization that's informing our members. Please be looking for those messages as they come out because it's important information to you. We can be our own worst enemy because we do not stay informed.
Exactly.
The information goes out there. Read it. Read your magazine. Read the Telegraph. Read these things that come out and arm yourself that way.
Arm yourself. A well-armed soldier does no good if he hides in the back room. You got to get out there and use your weapons.
Exactly.
So, and one of the weapons, let's see if I've got a copy. One is our Southern Defender, which I think I have just lost. But no, I haven't. Found it.
There it is.
Now, Southern Defenders, your SCV camp can buy these things. They run you anywhere from 35 to 45 cents a piece. Every SCV camp ought to be buying 100 of these every month and just putting them out in your community. You can put them out at gun shows, living history, festivals. You can, today I was at an auto shop having a car tire replaced. I was in the waiting room. I was in my truck. I didn't have one of these, but if I'd had one of these, I could have been reading it, and when I left, I could have laid it down there, and guess what? Somebody else would have picked it up. If every waiting room in the South had one of these, we could reach millions of people.
Donnie, let me look at this. Let me explain something to y'all. This is like $1. Do you know how many times $1 changes hands?
Right.
It changes hands 7 times. You take this, lay it down, somebody else picks it up, they take it, lay it down. Who else is going to pick it up? We're getting our message out there this way.
We're doing two things. We're informing the general public, but also politicians notice when people start talking about the Sons of Confederate Veterans, those people are active. We don't want to get those people mad.
Exactly.
And that's what we've got to do. Now, one other thing we're talking about in-house a little bit here, but need to talk about how we can get our information out to John Q. Public. If you'll go to Make Dixie Great Again, our website, if you'll look on the front page of our website, you'll see a microphone. Click on that microphone. It will open you up to a page where you can send us information of friendly, South-friendly, conservative type of media, whether it's talk shows, radios, newspaper, blogs. Send that information to us so that when Commander McClooney has an announcement to make, he can send out thousands of this information to friendly media types across the South, across the United States, and even across the world.
Yes.
So that's how we can get our message out. AP won't pick it up. Big newspapers, if they pick them up and carry. So let's say New York Times, Washington Times. If they pick it up, they'll pick up one line and then spend 5 lines damning us.
Exactly.
So we've got to have our own media outlet, and we are dependent on the membership and the camps of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Every community. Find out in your community a talk radio, conservative talk radio, or just a early morning drive-in radio show that's friendly towards the South. Give us that information so that we can get the information out. In my community, I have 3 good weekly newspapers that will take his information, his news releases, and print it in those papers. Multiply that by thousands across the South, we can reach people, and we can circumvent the doggone liberal, progressive, neo-Marxist censorship of the
I
South.
I agree. I mean, I just completed a podcast today that has 1 million listeners, and it
that's
was
great.
brought to my attention by a member.
That's great. Absolutely. That's what we need. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 2 of our June 2021 Commander's Comment, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, Commander, and we look forward to seeing everybody at our upcoming convention in July. So
If you're not there, you won't be informed what's going on in the Confederation.
and have fun and see some good people and have some good tours. I understand we've got some good tours planned also. We will see y'all there and see you next July for our Commander's Comment. Thank you.